I want to introduce you guys to this rule I have, which is the 95 and 5 rule. So what does that mean? That means that 95% of our emotional healing will come from us. Whether it's in terms of the work we do, whether it's in terms of the practice we do, of the skills we have or are learning, or whether it's in terms of going into ourselves and understanding the depths of our existence and understanding who we are and what we want. So all those things, you may have a therapist. I don't, I believe therapy does work, it does help, but also most of the work you do, it doesn't even have to be what you do, like what you talk about in therapy. It could be that, or it could be something else. But if you actually take control of your healing process, it will just like amp up so much. And after years of therapy, that might not have that effect as taking control of your healing. And that would be through like, all the things we talk about on this channel, and also like having a skill that you work on every day, meditating, doing all the work, just spending like, an hour or two a day doing that, and trying to be as regular about it as possible. Trying to check in with yourself, meditate regularly, and do things in the community, do creative things. So that can really help you. And through creativity, you can turn your pain into something beautiful and productive, and something you can show to the world to express yourself, or to, make other people know that they're not alone, that there are other people who feel that way too. So they don't feel like they're just like alone in their mission and in their journeys. There are other people like that, because we don't tend to talk about mental illness. We all know that. We all know the stigma. We all know how people try to hide it, and we ourselves try to hide it because it's not considered acceptable. It's not seen as taken upon kindly, and it's not. People often judge you, so it's not like people are the most understanding and empathetic. They can actually use that against you as ammunition. So that makes you more vulnerable, and it can make you feel like alienated, and it can make you feel really terrible if people are just making fun of you behind your back with using that information. That means that is very private and secret and important to you. And then there is like all the shame that comes with it, that people and our society just like puts on it. So again, it can become really difficult. So the 95-5 rule is that 5% of the work is what, it could be like a therapist, it could be a partner, it could be a friend. So these people, or it could be a multitude of people contributing that 5%, but those 5% people, what they can actually do to help you is that they can basically support you. So if you tell them, this is happening, this is how I feel, they can just listen and validate you, or try to validate you. Even if they don't agree with you, they can say, I know that must feel bad, or that must feel difficult to handle, or that must feel like disappointing or disturbing, or whatever it is. So they can help you in terms of supporting you. They can also help you in terms of helping you stay on track. So you might have other buddies who are going through the same journey, so you can help each other stay on track. But even that, if you're at the same level in the journey, like it might also be that kind of like, if they're demotivated, it may rub off on you, and vice versa. So just be careful that like that's not happening. So the point is that like the max anyone can do, the max a supportive partner can do. Of course, it really helps to have a supportive partner who understands all the things we face on a daily basis, who understands our struggles, our highs and our lows, and all the challenges we face, and who actually, if we've told them, who actually remembers, and who actually cares, and who's actually sensitive enough to know and want to learn how to deal with it to an extent. I don't expect the partner to, they can help you at times doing work if you're not able to, or if you want them to help for a while to get you started, to make it a routine, or if you want, just like you're feeling really depressed, you need that kind of extra thing. For a while they can help you, but of course, like, your journey is your own and you have to walk that path yourself. The only thing a person can do is sort of like support you and guide you and just be there for you if you're having a hard time following through, or if you're having a hard time just with anything else, personal issues, etc., etc. And then the 95% is you, totally you, and what you do to make yourself better, to actually work on yourself, and to keep doing that consistently and with dedication rather than just leaving it to someone else to fix it. Often it feels like, therapy could help us, like CBT and stuff. It can help us get better. I think, people should have therapists if they need that, but they should also like take control of their healing journey and their healing process, and that will give them empowerment like immediately as well. So they will feel like, ever since I've started doing this, and it's been like less than 2 months, I feel like so much more confident, even in job interviews. Like, I don't really care as much if I get it or not, or if they like me, because I know that I have this thing of myself, and that is like the most important to me. So anything else that happens is just great, or if it doesn't happen, it's like, sure, I'll find other things. There are so many jobs out there. There are so many, things that are happening. But as soon as like I get off the path and I stop doing that for a few days, everything comes back, and all the like ideation, all the negativity, and all the, self-criticism, and all the self-hate, and all the nihilism, that what's the point of life? Life is inherently pointless and nothing we do ever makes a difference, comes back, these kind of feelings. So I think it's really important to keep working on ourselves every single day, rather than just being like, oh, once a week I'll visit this person, I'm going to talk with them for an hour, and that way I will get better over like however much time it takes, or whatever your goal has been set to. I think it's so much better if we actually take control and do whatever we can to actually make it happen. This involves like understanding yourself, exploring yourself, which could include like meditation and journaling, and just things that keep you grounded. It includes like doing creative things. It includes like doing community things with people that are meaningful and that give back to your community. So if you are kind to others, you feel kind to yourself, and also that you do matter, especially for people who struggle with that. And then it could also be like having like a skill you work on each day. So I'm gonna do this next. I'm gonna make a video on like 30 days, 30 skills, and try to like plan ahead in the future as well. So I have like a skill for every day for the next 6 months, and I can actually, like keep doing it rather than thinking, or rather than just like getting up and running off to whatever I need to do. I'll just like have that, and I'll look at it the night before, and I'll look at it like in the morning. Even if I don't look at it in the morning, I don't have time, then I still would have looked at it in the night, like in the night. So I will know what I need to do for the next day and the skill I'm going to practice, rather than thinking about it and trying to get it. And often, like, if we're too busy, we just sort of don't do it. So I'm gonna do that, and you can do the same, of course, for yourself. I would advise all these things that I just talked about, and anything else that calms you, of course. Sleep, food, nutrition, that's really important. Stay away from toxic people, that's really important. They can really drain you. No matter what you do, you could be doing all the things right, but if you're with someone who's toxic and they're your romantic partner, especially if you're spending so much time with them, they could be at your workplace, it's like pretty normal that your health will suffer, and everything else we talked about here will also suffer. So I hope that was helpful, and I will see you guys soon. Ciao.